Good morning there, friends and neighbors. Bobby here today. We're up on a rooftop on a very nippy February morning. We're getting ready to start shingling, and we've got our roof laid off, marked off, chalked off, ready to go. And that's what this video is about today, folks. How important it is to actually measure off, chalk off your lines so you get your shingles running nice and straight, so you can do a quality shingle replacement for your customer. It makes them nice and happy when the job is done right. So let's just kind of swing around here. I'm going to explain this roof here today. We've got one little peak here that comes out. So we've got a valley that we've got to deal with here. We'll be putting a nice closed cut valley on this. Over here to the left we have another peak that actually comes out. We'll be doing a closed cut valley up this side also, and of course on the other side of it. Now let's talk a little bit about what I did to lay this roof off. First of all, we come down here to the very bottom, the area. We got probably about a 10-foot area across the very front. So we measured up 10 inches for our starter shingle, 11 inches from the bottom of the plywood for our first architect shingle, okay? Now, from these two measurements, we carried up the roof. We made our measurements before we chalked the lines, and then we went up to the top. We wanted to see how this was running out, okay? Because when you got just a small area there to start with, you don't know if the person that built the house, had the plywood running every which way. So come up here to the top, we found the peak of the truss, and we measured down 36 inches. You can pick any number, 24, 36, 12, it don't matter. I come down 36 inches, went to the other end, come down 36 inches, and chalk me a known good line for to know that I'm straight with the very peak, okay? And then off of that line, I took some measurements down to the first couple lines that I chalked to see how I was running. Actually, I was running pretty good. I think I was within like 1/8 of an inch, so we know we're good coming up here. So we went ahead and chalked all of these lines up to this peak. Now, on the other side here, going down. Now, we come down, we measured off of our 36 line up here. Well, no, actually we measured off of our first line that we got to chalk all the way across, past this peak right here. And then we come down 2 or 3 lines, and then we measured all the way down to the bottom. And we've got about 1 inch that we have to make up. Actually, 1 inch, 1.25 inches. And the reason for that is because, remember, we're going to let our shingles stick over 1.25 inches. So we've got all this area. We've got probably 15, 20 runs of shingles to make up 1 inch. That's why it's important, folks, to mark off and kind of plan ahead. If you wasn't doing that, you'd start laying shingles down there, and you'd get up here close, and all of a sudden you'd figure out, hey, this ain't working out right. Then you see where people actually start squeezing runs together or spreading them out trying to make them work out. This way, we've got 15, 20 runs to run, and we can actually make up that inch. You'll never know it. It'll look fine. So that's the importance of planning and laying off your roof. Now let's just talk a little bit about how to lay off a peak here, because I've seen a lot of people make mistakes. They'll start laying shingles at the bottom, and then when they get up close to a little peak like that, they have to start making adjustments to where it's running straight, once it gets up close to the top. Now, an easy way to do that is go ahead and come down here, figure out where you want to lay your first shingle, okay? Make you a mark at the top of the shingle, and that'll be your first line that you're going to measure off from, okay? So we actually figured out right here where my foot is, on that line right there, that's where we want the top of our first shingle to go. So from that point, we measured up 11 inches at a time, all the way up to the top. Now, once we got up here to this final line, we took a measurement from this line to the very peak. Okay, I can't remember what that measurement was, but whatever it was, we come right over here, marked us another spot at our peak, and made us a mark down here, that same measurement, and then we chalked us a line. Then off of that line, we made all of our other marks coming down the valley, okay? So that's going to keep all the shingles running nice and straight up this valley. We done that on this side, we done it on this other side over here, and we done that on this big roof over here. Folks, that's the correct way to lay off a roof. If you'll take the time to do that, you'll have a nice finished product for your customer. They'll be nice and happy, and you'll feel good about yourself too. So folks, thanks for taking the time to watch this little video. Have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe. I love to have new subscribers, and we'll talk to you later. Take care.